once we get into the actual planning, we actually start getting into the details. That's during the planning phase. Uh, Typically, I would advise any project manager is, in order to be successful from a cost front, you have to do very rigorous budget planning initially and also periodically.
Good day, everyone, and welcome to FaceTime with Leaders, the podcast series by Directors Institute World Council of Directors. This platform is dedicated to exploring the journeys, insights, and expertise of remarkable leaders who are shaping industries and redefining excellence. Today, we are honored to host Mr. Arijeet Bose, a distinguished expert in project management and agile delivery. With over 2 decades of experience across diverse sectors, Mr. Bose has consistently demonstrated the power of strategic vision and leadership in achieving transformational outcomes. His contributions to business innovation, cost optimization, and leadership development have set a benchmark in the field. Mr. Bose, it is an absolute privilege to have you with us today.
Yeah, thanks, Tane. I'm grateful and honored to be part of this platform today. And I'm excited to share my insights with your audience. Thank you.
Sir, with such an impressive career behind you, I'd like to start by asking about the moments that mattered most. If you were to look back at your journey, what were the key experiences or decisions that truly defined the professional and leader you've become today? Let's start there and hear your story in your own words.
Sure. Yeah, so my professional journey that's spanning a little bit over 25 years now, and it's shaped by many experiences, uh, which I can summarize in the form of learnings. Uh, so I will talk about a couple of them. One of the things is, embracing empathy for your own and also your others' failures has been very crucial for me. And the reason why I say this is, um, I've faced a lot of setbacks, early job rejections, unsuccessful attempts for post graduation. But then, what I do understand is the need for perseverance, and then, of course, eventually one achieves success. So that's something that's been a constant a reminder to me, and it's really important that as a professional, as a leader, you do you're kind with yourself, and then you deal with yourself with empathy first, and have that understanding towards your own failures, and then what you can learn from them. Uh, the second important point is, as a professional and as a leader, having a growth mindset and a commitment to lifelong learning. And that's also been another key point in my professional development over the years. Um, and if I may talk about a significant turning point or a milestone, and as you mentioned, my key expertise is in program management and agile delivery. Back in 2007, when I was moving from a technical to um, a more of a leadership role, project management fascinated me, and I went ahead and completed what we call the industry benchmark today, the PMP certification in 2007. But then again, things weren't really easy, and it took me more than a year when I joined IBM to actually get into the nitty gritties of project management. So I would say that that's been a very key decision and a key milestone that has kind of shaped my professional journey from there on up until now. Okay.
Lovely.
So yeah, so
Yeah.
essentially, and why project management is important is, of course, you get into a lot of parallel roles in terms of you manage a project management office. You become a consultant for your client, because at the end of the day, through managing projects, one develops valuable leadership skills, including negotiations, decision making, communicating across various levels, internally, externally. And the other important thing is, of course, you lead sometimes without any formal authority, right? So again, just to summarize, embracing failure, having a growth mindset, and also the career transition into project management. and developing leadership skills, right? So that's kind of been, the summary of my journey so far.
Sir, you had the unique experience of consulting for global financial institutions across both the UK and the USA, two very distinct environments. Sir, I am curious from your perspective how their approaches to program management differ, not just in strategies or structures, but in the way they view leadership, collaboration, and innovation. Like, what stood out to you the most in navigating those diverse landscapes?
Right. Yeah, thanks, Tanay, for the question. I think that's interesting. My primary experience in the US and the UK happened in the early part of my career, and that was between 2003 and 2006, essentially, where I had the opportunity to work as a technical liaison or a consultant for two of the largest banks in the world. Um, for a period of a year and a half in the UK, followed by another year in the US. Um, so there are three, let me talk about it from three aspects. One is the leadership style, one is the collaboration, and the other is innovation. When I look at these two countries, when you look at a leadership style, my experience working with US customers is that in general, Americans are informal. There is a lot of emphasis on autonomy and independent decision making. So these three things really stand out or have stood out in my experience when working with in the US and with American customers in general. Um, when I look at my experience in the UK, which again was full of learning and opportunity, uh, the process I found, and I'm talking about from that experience alone in 2003 and 2004, is there is more structure and process. There is more frequent reporting, and in general, a focus more on established procedures. And kind of that was important because of the nature of the work as well, because the scope of the work was involved a lot of stakeholders. The criticality of the systems was different from the ones that I had to handle when I was in the US. But that's been the general impression when it comes to the leadership style in terms of the UK and the US. Uh, and then moving on to collaboration, um, there is a lot more opportunity on collaboration in my experience when it comes to US customers and with Americans because they're always they're curious to hear more from you in terms of what you have to offer. Uh, what are the skills you can bring to the table? What is it that you can offer that can benefit their program? Um, so this leads to a lot more collaboration and of course a lot of learning for the consultants as well, right?
Yeah.
And in the UK as well, of course, this is something that there is a lot of collaboration, and sometimes the collaboration again follows a structured path. And the biggest learning from my experience in the UK, and this was before I got into project management, is how to deal with a diverse set of stakeholders because you have you are maintaining a critical system for your bank or for the firm, and there is a whole bunch of 80 to 100 people of different business groups who are kind of looking at you to not only and sometimes not only technical aspects but also some functional aspects as well to guide and provide them with support. So that was a big learning in terms of how broad-based stakeholders can be and how you as a consultant or how one as a consultant can contribute and add value, right? So
Yeah.
that's I think been a great learning from that early experience that I had. When I look at innovation, I feel in the US there is a lot more stronger emphasis on innovation, exploring and adopting new technologies, and there's always uh, a desire within organizations to see how that technology can benefit their own systems and lead to competitive advantages. So I think that's something that's really valued, from an innovation perspective. Um, so I think those were, in summary, the three things around, comparing both the UK and the US, on these grounds.
Yeah. I think that'll be really helpful to all of you, just understanding the nitty-gritties of The small differences that are always there in any different regions, right?
Right.
Sir, achieving over $500,000 in cost savings is no small accomplishment, and it speaks volumes about your ability to optimize resources and lead with precision. But beyond the numbers, I'm curious, what drives your mindset when tackling such challenges? Are there specific principles or strategies you lean on to consistently uncover efficiencies and create lasting value for the organizations you work with?
Yeah. Yeah, great question. At the center of managing and leading projects and programs is cost. Of course, you've got costs and then you've got risks as well. And and I've been in this industry as a project and a program manager for 15 plus years. And how we do it is typically in organizations, there is a budget planning that happens. It's typically an annual exercise where everybody puts in all their projects and along with a high level budget. Uh, and then, as leaders, we approve that budget. And then once we get into the actual planning, we actually start getting into the details. That's during the planning phase. Typically, I would advise any project manager is in order to be successful from a cost front, you have to do very rigorous budget planning initially and also periodically, maybe on a monthly basis or depending on how you how your program is structured and how frequently your forecasts are adjusted. It is really important because at a high level, once you get your high level budget, you do a cost benefit analysis and then you allocate these budgets across various heads. You got budget for towards staff, towards resources, towards contractors, your IT hardware, software, miscellaneous expenses, and so on and so forth. So if you start with a good initial planning and then monitor that based on your actual expenses, there would be tremendous opportunities to achieve these savings over a period of time, especially for large and complex programs. So now, when you ask me about strategies that I've implemented, uh, I think there are quite a few, but I can name maybe three or four. Um, so in my experience, I look at the skill versus location matrix quite a bit in IT projects because sometimes it's more effective from a synergistic perspective to locate all of similar skills to a particular location. It doesn't have to be India because on the cost front, where you don't really have a comparison, but sometimes you have other locations which have got the skills that you really need for your project success, and then you put you hire all the skills for that location. So that's one thing. Um, you would definitely at any point in time, a project or a program manager has a decision of make or buy, right? So, and this is something that in my experience as well, when you are developing a first of a kind solution for your firm, it's quite likely or very likely that you will not have the required amount of technical skills in order to start executing on your project or program. So you would have to hire, you would have to have a contracting agreement. And how I look at cost optimization through contracts is you start off with a vendor and then you look at the performance, and then depending on how your project is progressing and the amount of success achieved, you would look at hiring those skills in-house, which would definitely be cheaper and more effective from a quality perspective. So this is another very key area by which one can achieve a significant amount of savings over a period of time. Then, of course, you've got process automation and optimization, where you look at your internal delivery processes and see how you could execute a similar scope by reducing waste and focusing more on value delivery. So you look at all your processes and don't and exclude those processes or minimize those processes that really do not add any value towards the delivery of your project or program. And then using those resources, you look at the scope again, and then you have a better way of managing it with lesser number of resources. So these are some of the ways in which, as project or program managers, we can achieve cost savings.
So, in a world where digital penetration and efficiency are the cornerstones of business success, achieving a 7% increase is no small feat. What's fascinating is how such results often require a mix of vision, strategy, and deep understanding of the client's needs. So, could you walk us through the approach you took to drive this impact and share how businesses can replicate such meaningful outcomes in today's fast evolving digital landscape?
Yeah. Yeah, great question again. And this is more from my recent experience as a consultant for a client in the oil and gas sector. Um, so today, digitization, or organization, driving digital growth requires more than just technology. Um, it's in my experience with clients, and again, people could have diverse views as well. Many times, strategies follow a top-down approach. So, a high-level leadership would take a decision to achieve a target of, say, 100% digital solutions from your 100% legacy modernization. But the perspectives of people who actually do the work, they are somewhere not their perspectives are not taken, or they are not consulted as these decisions are taken. So what happens is you get a lot of pushback and resistance, and this becomes a risk towards digital transformation. So I did face this in this particular scenario, but I one of the things that I do is I try to engage stakeholders uh, across different levels, and just to make sure that even as you have a target to achieve, we have this risk. So how do we work together and mitigate this so that we are able to progress and we are able to achieve success. So so now as a product as a consultant for the client, in this case a product management consultant, I really emphasize understanding the needs and concerns of all the concerned stakeholders, and and then uh, and then again, number two, obtaining buy-in from the client leadership, which is very essential to ensure the successful implementation of all digital initiatives. So that's been, and again, moving on, while there were challenges in this particular program, but then we had a rapid development approach using our agile safe framework, and then we were actually able to complete it a couple of weeks or a little ahead of time, notwithstanding all the issues that we faced. So yes, definitely, um, working as a team with support from those key stakeholders is really essential to drive digital success.
True, it has to be a uniform thing across the board. So, with such an accomplished career and a proven track record in driving transformation, I'm curious that as you look to the future, what are your aspirations, particularly when it comes to contributing at the boardroom level? Like, how do you envision leveraging your expertise to influence strategic decisions and shape the future of organizations?
Uh, Yeah, I'm sure. The boardroom journey is um, definitely exciting, and it's with a lot of learning, a lot of challenges, and a lot of opportunities. But then I would just reflect on my journey on my core area, which is project and program management, and being an agile practitioner. Experience in project and program management, and the digital product consulting, and working with stakeholders across diverse industries has equipped me with the leadership skills, including strong communication, critical thinking, risk management, cost optimization, and managing various types of vendors. And what I aspire to do is to leverage these skills at the boardroom level, um, particularly within the risk management committees and also the strategy committees as well, because I believe my experience can contribute to more informed and effective risk management and mitigation strategies at a corporate level. And in the process, the organization resilience and the builds, and we are able to drive sustainable growth for the organization. So that is where I currently see my position at a board level.
Sir, ESG has become a defining factor in how businesses shape their strategies and connect with the world. From your perspective, how are these principles transforming the way organizations operate, and what opportunities do you see for companies to drive both sustainability and long term growth through ESG?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great question, and it's a really fascinating topic. Um, just to tell a small example, I did have an opportunity to contribute to a sustainability initiative in one of my previous organizations. The situation was like this: that um, the company, a big four, had invested in a lot of meeting room technologies like video conferencing, telepresence, and Surface hubs. And but at the same time, it was not effectively used, and there was a lot of cost getting involved. And at the same time, people would just travel at the drop of a hat. So our product was this unique effort to look at the availability of technology, look at the availability of people, and then provide them with intelligent choices with the goal that they don't travel, right? And in the process, you save millions of dollars for the firm and also reduce the carbon emissions that come in from travel. So this was and as we went ahead on the program, we did achieve a good amount of benefit. It was highly transformational, and then there was a lot of resistance. But this is a very good example of how an organization can be sustainable by reducing the carbon emissions and contributing to the carbon credit. So that's the experience that I had. But then today, when I look at how technology can benefit or be a key differentiator in assisting companies towards ESG goals and objectives, is again develop and implement IT solutions that minimize energy consumption. Today, a lot of companies still have their infrastructure on their own data centers, on their own premises. Even with the progress of cloud computing, there is a lot of opportunity there to
Yeah.
move from your on-premises to the cloud. And then when you're moving to the cloud, you've got high energy and renewable energy powered data centers, which will again, reduce, contribute to the sustainability and ESG goals. Number two is again, as I gave from the example, develop IT products and solutions whose direct goal is to reduce carbon emissions, right? In the case of reducing the travel, and that I think there's a significant opportunity for all companies there to contribute to the energy transition. The third thing is, of course, protecting the data, because this is um, very important to develop those robust solutions to protect the sensitive data. And in this way, you can build the trust with all the stakeholders. And the final one, and this is something that uh, is gaining traction, is on the ESG reporting. And today, businesses are starting to create various software tools to track and measure and report on their ESG performance. And this is something that I envision will build up a lot over time as ESG becomes an integral part of an organization.
Yeah.
So I think that's all I have about this particular topic.
Yeah, I think data is key, right, going forward, and that's what everyone is talking about now, that how important company data, personal data has now become.
Absolutely.
So, as someone with extensive experience and a deep understanding of leadership, we'd love to hear about your journey with Directors Institute. Like, how has being a part of this platform shaped your perspective or added value to your professional growth so far?
Yeah. Yeah, I think the experience has been filled with a lot of learning, and it is enhancing my professional growth. The courses are very comprehensive, and they provided a lot of insights into corporate governance best practices, and a lot of the intricacies of the board and the committee operations. Um, I'm able to appreciate this well because in project and program management, governance is a key factor as well. So where there you have your governance around just your project or program aspects, here you're looking at your business unit or the broader organization as a whole. So definitely, I could appreciate the those elements of corporate governance. So the live sessions, the recorded lectures. So there was a lot of real world case studies that we are being exposed to. So we had the boardroom simulations. So all of that has been great learning opportunities, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity to learn from all these experienced professionals. And at the end of the day, it's a joint mission from Directors Institute and also the participants, which is to improve the board effectiveness and foster a culture of responsible corporate governance.
Thank you so much, sir, for those kind words and, of course, for sharing your incredible journey, insights, and wisdom with us today. It's been an absolute pleasure hearing from you about your experiences, your learning, your perspective on leadership, program management, and, of course, the evolving role of ESG in business. And to audience, I hope we found today's conversation as inspiring and thought provoking as we did. Thank you so much once again, sir, for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Remember, the path to growth and leadership is shaped by continuous learning and meaningful connections, values we hold dear here at Directors Institute. Thank you for tuning into FaceTime with Leaders. Until next time, stay curious, stay driven, and continue to strive for excellence in all that you do. And of course, have fun in your journey. Thank you so much.